Iran's IRGC claims to have destroyed a U.S. missile defense radar as the war expands across Middle East. The IRGC further claimed to have hit a naval support vessel in the Indian Ocean, and a widening arc of retaliation stretching across the Gulf. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, now says it has hit American military assets in what it calls Operation True Promise 4. According to the state-affiliated Tasnim news agency, the IRGC says a precision missile destroyed a radar system belonging to the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, or THAAD, in Al-Ruwais in the United Arab Emirates. No proof was cited. The Guard described the radar as part of what it called the Israeli regime's anti-missile defense network. It claimed the installation was completely destroyed in the strike. In a separate announcement, the IRGC said a U.S. carrier group refueling ship was struck 700 kilometers off Iran's southeastern city of Chabahar. The vessel was reportedly hit by a combination of drone and missile fire and has been rendered non-operational. Tasnim further reported that IRGC anti-submarine missile units are tracking the U.S. naval fleet in the region. No additional operational details were provided. As of now, U.S. Central Command has not confirmed the latest Iranian claims. The escalation appears to be reverberating across the Gulf. The Kuwaiti army said its air defenses intercepted a number of hostile aerial targets at dawn in central parts of the country. It did not specify their origin. In Bahrain, the Ministry of Interior confirmed that falling debris from an intercepted missile caused a fire on a foreign ship in the Salman industrial zone. One Asian worker was killed and 2 others suffered serious injuries. Authorities said the fire was brought under control and extinguished. Tehran describes the campaign as retaliation for joint U.S.-Israeli strikes that killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, along with several senior officials and more than 100 civilians. The IRGC says it has launched multiple waves of attacks targeting U.S. and Israeli assets across the region, including bases in Kuwait, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. The strikes mark a significant expansion of direct confrontation between Iran and the United States, extending beyond Israeli territory and into Gulf states and international waters. The message from Tehran is unmistakable. This is an expanding confrontation with regional consequences.
The Middle East is on the brink. Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guards claim they have struck the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln in the Gulf. IRGC claimed they fired 4 ballistic missiles in what they call retaliation for the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. In a defiant statement carried by AFP, the Guards warned that the land and sea will increasingly become the graveyard of the terrorist aggressors. However, U.S. Central Command has rejected these claims. CENTCOM said the vessel was not struck and that the missiles didn't even come close. The statement added that the Lincoln continues flight operations in support of regional missions. The aircraft carrier, which arrived in January along with 3 guided missile destroyers to reinforce U.S. naval presence, is part of a massive American military buildup in the region. It was later joined by the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, along with 4 additional destroyers dispatched from the Caribbean and now positioned in the Mediterranean. Altogether, the expanded deployment has brought more than 10,000 additional U.S. troops into the Middle East, a formidable show of force amid rising tensions. If true, the dramatic strike comes after a sweeping joint offensive by the United States and Israel that killed Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. A move that has sent shockwaves across the region and beyond. Earlier, IRGC says its naval forces fired missiles that severely struck a U.S. Military Sealift Command combat support vessel operating in regional waters. Iranian forces also targeted a U.S. naval base in Bahrain and a base in Saudi Arabia, expanding the battlefield beyond open waters and into strategically critical territory. Video circulating online shows large plumes of black smoke rising near the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet in Manama. The extent of the damage remains unclear, and Washington has not yet officially commented. Across the region, air defenses were activated. The United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Jordan, and Kuwait, all home to U.S. military installation, reported intercepting missiles in their airspace. In Doha, Qatar's defense ministry said several missiles aimed at the Al-Udeid air base were successfully intercepted. Israel has also faced deadly Iranian strikes since Saturday, with dozens of casualties in Beit Shemesh. Now, diplomacy has given way to missiles. As aircraft carriers patrol tense waters and cities brace for impact, and the world watches as the region edges closer to a possibility that could redefine the balance of power in the Middle East.
One of the biggest updates in the Iran-US conflict has just been confirmed by U.S. Central Command. 3 U.S. service members have been killed in action during combat operations against Iran, according to an announcement from United States Central Command, also known as CENTCOM. 5 more troops have been listed as seriously wounded. In its official release, CENTCOM said several other personnel sustained minor shrapnel injuries and concussions and are currently in the process of being returned to duty. The casualties come amid an escalating wave of Iranian retaliatory strikes targeting U.S. military installations across the Middle East. The barrage was launched on Saturday, following a sweeping U.S. and Israeli air, land, and sea bombardment on targets across Iran. Initial reports had indicated there were no casualties. However, updated assessments have now confirmed the deaths of 3 American service members. Additional details surrounding the circumstances of the fatalities have not yet been made public. Major combat operations continue, and our response effort is ongoing, the CENTCOM statement read. Officials say the identities of the fallen service members are being withheld. Their names will be released 24 hours after next of kin have been notified, in accordance with military protocol. The development marks a significant escalation in the conflict, with confirmed American combat deaths now adding a grave new dimension to the widening confrontation. As operations continue, the situation on the ground remains fluid.